Hello everyone, Lau here. Welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, I'm Lau. I'm actually a vintage toy collector. That's what I usually show here on the channel. So I do mostly collect the more girly toys from the 80s and 90s. I mean, you see all of that colorful stuff behind me. This video is going to show a little bit different stuff because I visited Star Wars Celebration, yeah, because besides all of that colorful rainbow girly stuff, I'm also a huge Star Wars fan, and that's just like on the surface level. I mean, that was my 7th Star Wars Celebration, and I'm a fan of like everything surrounding Star Wars, like of course the movies, but all of the TV shows, all of the animated stuff, all of the comics and books. I'm not like reading everything, but like I'm on top of like all the Star Wars news and all of that, so it's not just like surface level. That's why we are going to like all of the Star Wars celebrations worldwide this year. So 2023 it was in London, so Europe. I am from Europe, how convenient. I'm not from the UK, but I'm from Germany, so that was still a little bit of a like easier travel than like always to the US. In 2 years it will be in Japan, so let's see how that works out. But if everything right now works out, you should have already been able to see the convention video itself. So I filmed at the convention, probably a mix of, you know, toy hunting, cosplay, and general convention footage. Sometimes I filmed a little bit in the panels, but like, yeah. And I actually right now I have not like edited those videos when I'm filming this. So I don't know if it's 1 or 2 videos, but this is here going to be the whole video, and it's probably 1 video. So from the whole like UK trip, so not whole UK, we were just in London, but I also think I have 2 more videos, like 1 other toy hunt, not Star Wars related, and then another haul. But this video is going to showcase all of the stuff I bought at Celebration, which is not just vintage toys, but it is also vintage toys. So obviously vintage Star Wars from like the 90s, the 80s, and also newer stuff, artwork, t-shirts, etc. So I don't know, let's just start and get into it. I try to write down everything like a little bit in a chronological order, and I think the very first thing that my friend Michi and I already knew before like we arrived there that we wanted to buy was actually these big postcards, this huge postcard set here, because this is the artwork of this year's badges. So Star Wars Celebration, we always get this huge, very cool looking, you know, badge. So that's the ticket, so to say. And we were lucky enough, we had the 4-day passes again. And sometimes, like last year, for example, for Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, the badges look kind of boring. They had locations on it, you know, planets or whatever. This year's artwork was so cool. They revealed it before the convention. I was like, oh, I hope they do sell some kind of artwork of it. And they did. I mean, the official show store also sold a poster of all of the different artworks, but the artist herself, she's called Alice X Jang, I guess. I mean, that's her name. She like twittered, my friend Michi is active on Twitter, that's how I knew it, that she had printed all of the different badge artwork as postcards, and that would be available at her booth, and it's just in a limited number. And yeah, we knew we had to get there first. I mean, it was not the very first thing we did, because we were sitting in the huge first like opening panel with all of the reveals and everything, and then after that we immediately like ran into some friends, and then we talked, and we were like, oh, but actually we need to get to this booth here, because yeah, and we were lucky when we arrived there. There were like 5 or so packs of them still like laying out, and she said, yeah, I mean the artist wasn't there at that moment, but the girl who sold the stuff at the booth said they might get another like stock in either that afternoon or one other day, but like, yeah, who knows when that would have been. So I'm pretty sure any other time we would have been there, we would not have gotten them, but we got them. So so this year's the 4-day pass had Din Djarin and Grogu from The Mandalorian, but all of the other passes, you know, children's passes or the 1-day passes for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, crew passes, VIP passes, whatsoever, all had different artworks. So quickly go through them. They look so cool. So I'm really happy to have them all, and I will put them together on the wall, and that you know, the background, like it connects, not right this here, but when you have the right puzzle pieces, so to say, together, it connects to a huge like picture, and that will look so cool. So that was not exactly cheap. I mean, it's like a lot of different like postcards. They're really high quality printed, and it's from the artist herself. So we paid £100 for this postcard set, but that was worth it. I'm so happy that now I have all of the artwork from every single one of the badges that usually we never had. I usually, for celebrations, I don't know what the other badges look like other than mine, or I just briefly see some others. And this is a really cool style. I love the colors. I love the dynamic background. It's just, for example, that one was the Jedi Master VIP badge. When you had that badge, you could enter everything and anything, like early, etc. That was, for example, the Monday pass, etc. So that probably was a children's pass. So Cassian was, I think, Saturday or Sunday. But yeah, there we go again. First purchase. Probably the most expensive thing, but so glad we got it. By the way, I still have my Galaxy Guest wristband, which we got when we entered the first panel, which allowed us to go to see the new episode of The Mandalorian a week early that day. So that was also really cool. Still have that one. I don't know how I put all this stuff because I cannot. I don't know. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, then I knew it's the first day. If I want to go, you know, toy hunting, I should probably start it that day, because otherwise all of the good stuff is already sold and all of the, you know, deals are snatched up by someone else. And so I went into it, although the Friday was already super crowded. Usually the first day of the celebration is like, it's chill, etc. Not that day. So the chill day of the celebration was the Monday. This time was over Easter, so I don't know. That was when the halls were the most empty. But that was also when everything was already sold out. So I started off with grabbing in boxes and bins of vintage Star Wars stuff. And I'm pretty happy that I stumbled across this vendor first, which there was one bin of, you know, used figures, not complete in any way, but just for like £5 per piece, which is still a little bit more than I sometimes find them at flea markets. You know, I have had very, very lucky like flea market finds of vintage Star Wars figures for like €2.50 or something. But like €5 still good, and that was still when the selection was pretty good, and not just this, like, they are all commons. They're not rare or anything, but like not the super commons that I see all the time. So I snatched up a couple of cool aliens and cool others. I usually not like dead on just collecting the vintage. I collect like the 3 3/4 inch size for like, I also do especially love the ones from the prequel trilogy, because that's the Star Wars I want to say grew up, but like that's what made me the Star Wars fan I am. I love the Clone Wars figures. But I've gotten into the like vintage ones, although they are sometimes a little bit funny looking. So this time let's put them down here. But I started off with an Ewok, because that was one of my goals this year, to get more vintage Ewok stuff. And I'm happy that This is Chief Chirpa from Return of the Jedi. He still has his like hood, so that's one accessory that he already has. I think it's just missing a staff or something. I have to get myself something to drink. So one accessory is there, one staff is missing. So probably one of the most common Ewoks. I don't know why, but I didn't have that one. Then I picked up another one that's not like alien. It's a human, which in the video I think I said it's the hot rebel like troop guy, but it's actually the Hoth rebel commander. He looks a little bit different, so he's from 80, from 80, from Empire Strikes Back. So just got him because he was in good condition, and I don't have that one. And I also got Yoda. Yeah, he looks a little bit funny. I mean, vintage, they always look a little bit funny, but he's missing a lot of pieces. He looks very skinny, you know. He is actually having actually a like cloth cape, or like more like a coat really on it, a belt around that one. He has his cane in his hand, and actually a snake around his neck. So that's all missing. But I'd never seen a vintage Yoda for just a $5, so like yeah, snagged that one up. Also 80, so Empire Strikes Back. The other ones are all from Return of the Jedi, which, by the way, this year, it's the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So, and you most often see the figures from that movie. So here we've got one cool looking alien called Reese. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, because, I mean, you never hear that names like said out loud in a movie. It's just an alien that is in one shot of the movie, I think with 3PO together or something. This one, for example, is just missing like a big blaster rifle, and condition is okay. A little bit of paint rub on the eyes, I think, but like, yeah. I got myself Akbar. It's now my third Akbar figure. There aren't even actually so many of him, but I have one from the sequel trilogy. I have one of the vintage collection ones, and now I have the real vintage one, and I think that one looks really good. I mean, it doesn't even look goofy. I mean, that's how Admiral Akbar looks. It's from Return of the Jedi, so 40-year-old figure, and good condition, also just missing like a blaster or something. Or not even a blaster, it's more like a baton that he's wearing, or having in his hand. And then I also got, very cool alien, 9 Nump. So, you know, co-pilot when Lando is flying the Millennium Falcon in the destruction of the second Death Star. So he is iconic. His laugh is iconic, and also a very good looking figure, very accurate to the movie. So for Return of the Jedi, the figures actually looked pretty good. I think some of the earlier ones are a little bit goofy, you know, some of the early Leia ones, etc. But I cannot complain. I don't even have another version of this character. So like, yeah, 83 as well. By the way, the Admiral Akbar is actually something interesting that I read when I, you know, researched him. Was actually one of the first designs revealed back then. Like, I don't know if it's just the toy or the characters himself. Before the movie, this figure was actually already available as a mail order in 82. Before, like, I think in 83 it was also released normally on card. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vintage 3 3/4 inch figures for £30. I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad, but I considered it an okay price for a convention, and I was just in the mood for getting some vintage Star Wars. So, and then you obviously get lots of like freebies at, I mean, probably convention itself, but Star Wars Celebration is like a very, very good example of, you know, just fans giving out, you know, their swag items, etc., or like artists having like 1 postcard a day at a booth, and you can collect all 4 of them if you get to the booth like every day, stuff like that. So this year we were able to get all of the 4 postcards from Yuki. She is actually a Japanese, you know, like, I don't know, she's an artist, she's also a cosplayer, she cosplays Obi-Wan, and she actually does this like Japanese style of your paper cutting art. I think there's a name for it. I wrote it down. I don't know if it's really the Kingami, because that's more three-dimensional, but hers is more like flat. But these are prints of her, like, you know, paper cutout artwork, and she does them really, really beautifully. She's called Yuki Shibauda. There you can read her name if you're interested in that one. She does really beautiful artwork, and it's not just painted or drawn or whatever. It's like all of these different colors are different papers that are cut out. Look at this ginormous, like, geometrical, like, looks like a flat lay of vehicles from above. Looks almost Egyptian. And here's a Yoda. So also really colorful. And those are just freebies. You just have to find her booth and snack them up before they're gone every day. And we always went to her booth every day because Michi, my friend, she's actually a really big fan of hers. I don't follow her, for example, but Michi does, so she knew that this year she would be there again and have postcards available again. And then also really, really happy that I focused on toy hunting already the first day, because what I said it, what I wanted to like focus on concerning vintage was finding more vintage Ewok stuff, because last year I kind of started getting into that realm with the, you know, the Play School Ewok telephone from Kenner, and that's so cute. And there's so much more, like, you know, small merch articles, etc. Articles, merch things, and toys. And I was like, nah, probably that's more like to be found in America. But there was one booth that had like a huge like tub of all of these things and so many Ewok things, and that's exactly what I wanted to find. So the first thing that I saw were these party hats. This is it actually a nightlight? I will show all of that in detail. Some magnets, and a lot of the stuff is still on cart. This is a keychain. I have a little package. So not everything is like directly Ewok, you know, with the name. So some of it's really Wicked the Ewok. So that's really aimed more towards children, but some of it is just like branded Return of the Jedi. Like this, we've got an Ewok eraser and pencil sharpener. There is a whole set, I think, of these vintage bookmarks. I just got the Ewok, Wicked the Ewok, Return of the Jedi marked. I got this Topps trading card pack that includes like 10 cards, 1 sticker, and 1 stick bubblegum, but it has this cute Ewok, you know, this baby Ewok Wokling in the front, and this Ewok candy dispenser with candy still in it. All of these had like prices from, like, some of them were £5, some of them were 10, some were 15, some were more like 30 or 25, and I haggled everything down to, also again, it doesn't, oh, something else again, but I will come to that later, to £100, which actually was more like 115 or something, so like I got 15 pounds off, which, you know, that's okay. Seems like a lot, but you know, it's a lot of stuff still on back cards, and that's exactly what I went there for. That's exactly what I wanted to find. And by the way, this is also still the original packaging. So you got the cute Ewok with the glider in the sky, and you know, the trees underneath, and the clouds, and it's just fun and colorful. It is really marked, you know, Lucasfilm, so it is original. It's not a knockoff anything or whatever. It was just, you know, the Ewoks were, I mean, some people already back then said, they just introduced these little teddy bears to make merch for them. And I mean, probably not false. I mean, but it's also just extremely cute. Yeah, the old Topps cards, which I will not open. I will leave it like this, because you never know if there will be Ewok stuff in there, and nobody will want to chew the bubblegum anyways. So this cute Ewok Wokling baby in the front. Here is the bookmark. All of it is a little bit of a different design, because these, for example, all of the different bookmarks for Return of the Jedi with the characters, they all had this design, but they're really high quality made, and it says Wicked the Ewok, and there's the Return of the Jedi mark, and it also says 83 Lucasfilm. Yeah, Random House, it's probably the company that was licensed for that. This is like really cool. I mean, all of the stuff originally came from the US, not the UK. It all has dollar signs, and you know what? It has the American plug. So I could not even try out if that works. I couldn't even do that in the UK because they also have different plugs than rest of Europe. So, but yeah, this is cool because it does not have a plastic, you know, blister over it, so you can touch it, and then there's nothing yellowed or something. And the card looks cool, and I mean, has the old price tag on it. Actually better than with this, because I was debating like, oh, it is so yellow, I don't know, but it is so cute, and it's a keychain. It was one of the more expensive items of this pile, but it is actually also busted open at the bottom, so I actually want to take it out. Should I do that? These ones I totally will leave in. It's not as yellow as this, and you can see it, it's just two magnets, and they are really nice on the card, so I would not burst that one open. But with this one, I don't know, should I just do it, because I can still display it in front of the card. What else? This one was kind of open already. I might just glue it back better than with this, and this how I got it now, with a, you know, just temporarily glued together. But it's a cute, like, you know, how can you see it, like a pencil sharpener there, and then a huge Ewok eraser. And the back just says Return of the Jedi. All from 83, because that's when Return of the Jedi was released. And yeah, this one, this is not in the package. That also was not in the package. It's just a little Ewok head, and it has candy inside, and that was actually open already, so I can just open it up again. When it still says here, it says how much candy should be in there. I will not eat them, obviously, but I want to show you. There are these colorful, you know, pastel colored candy pieces, and all of them are in shapes of, you know, Star Wars things. So here's another Ewok face. What else do we have here? We've got probably a Darth Vader. Yeah. What is this? Ewok face again. We have another Ewok here. Looks more directly like Wicked himself. Here we've got a 3PO. This other yellow one here, we've got a R2. For example, there's another pink R2. And I think that's all the different ones. Oh no, here's a Jabba. Ooh. I haven't even seen that. Can you see it? It's Jabba's face, Jabba the Hutt. And maybe there's even more in that I have not noticed, but like, it's so funny. And they are not really like crumbling apart or anything. They're like almost like hard candy. And so pastel. And you can obviously close it up again. And I can display it like this. They also had these, for example, for other characters, but I just really limited myself to vintage Ewok stuff. Were these all of the things? Yeah. I think I actually have already decided that I want to open it. Let's open it now. It is even already like dusty from inside the package because the package was open. But this is like way cuter because this isn't even like, this is not Ewok, like, this is not Wicked, because this is Nisa. So female Ewok that actually did not really have a role in the movie, but anyways, you could watch the Ewok cartoon, which actually was released later, but anyways, that's a character from there. Just I show this one because this is actually also Nisa. Does it actually say Nightlight? I don't think it does it, but they also had one of Wicked, so I chose the girl. So here is the keychain, and the keychain metal stuff has already rusted, so I can definitely clean that one up, and I can clean the back card a little bit better up, and I can still have that one. I don't think that I can get this off without destroying, you know, the paper, but I can still display it better like this without this awful thing. The other thing that I bought from this vendor in this whole like Ewok lot was actually also this Jar Jar, which was just £1. I just threw him in because like this is kind of a little side collection that I also have. You know, I kind of seems like I collect the odd characters, the ones that are not beloved by everyone. I have a small like Jar Jar collection going on, and this one I couldn't leave. It's actually just a plastic head of our beloved Gungan here, and it has this ugly sticky tongue. This is even a little bit cut, so it would be longer, and this one's obviously from 1999, so prequels, the first Phantom Menace, 1999, and it's actually just called a sticky tongue toy from Walkers, which I think is a company that makes, you know, crisps in the UK, or like potato chips or whatever you want to call them. I don't know, but it was separate. You got it on card. There's also a version that's glow in the dark, which I would love to have. But yeah, the tongue was even a little bit longer and had a little bit of a bigger piece in the back. So like, blah. Wow. Can you stick it to the camera? No, I can't. But it was just too funny to leave behind for like £1. And the tongue was pretty like black because there was so much like dust on it, but if you just wash it, it gets normal again. So like, yeah, here I am with my like silly Ewok and silly Jar Jar stuff. Cannot really put it. Let's lay him down. And I think that was probably the stuff that I bought the first day. Oh no, actually, I did not buy this, but this was given after the first panel, when you know, were in the first big panel, and you could show this wristband that I already showed. You got a free poster, and we were actually kind of surprised that they just did it for very few of the panels. Last celebrations in a row, you almost got a poster for every panel that you were sitting in, but it was not that many other panels, so that was the only free poster that we got. But it's a very, very cool one. It's for, you know, The Mandalorian, which I think at the point when the video is coming out, like this video here, then probably this third season has already been closed. So then we already have seen the final episode. Right now I'm still away from the final episode, but like, yeah, it's one of my favorite things that they're doing in Star Wars right now. The Mandalorian is just so good, and this poster is as well. Super cool, like artwork. A lot of the amazing characters on it, even to the smaller minor characters. You know, I don't know, even the Anzellans are on there, or Peli. So, and let's see if I can find space for it or make space for it in my like bedroom, where I have like my Star Wars wall, you could say. I was really pleased with that poster, definitely. The next day was actually the Saturday. We were almost just sitting in panels. We were like hopping from panel to panel, so there was not a lot of stuff that I picked up that day, but there was this one booth which still was like bigger in the back. You could walk in, etc. The other days after that, it was just like the front, because it was crazy how much like stuff sold probably at Celebration. And they had a mix of, you know, modern and vintage stuff and everything, so toys. And I picked up 1, 2, 3 of the Star Wars Micro Machines, a little miniature play sets, or like you could almost say lockets. They are from the 90s, I think 1996 and 1997, that's when they were released. So yeah, that one 96, that one 97, so 1 year after. And they kind of, you know, like got this idea probably from all of this, you know, Polly Pocket craze in the early 90s. Galoob made, you know, micro machines, little cars that are like similar to, you know, Hot Wheels, etc. They had play sets, whatever. They had the Star Wars license, they made bigger miniature play sets, and these are the super small ones. They're still in package, but I will unbox them, so I will open them up. But here we have like Greedo, the head of Nine Nump, and the Tusken Raider, and then always these miniature figures. There's not much in there, but they are like, you know, they open up and are like little compact little play sets, or like the size of the Polly Pocket lockets, you could say. So yeah, I was like, should I buy them, should I not? But they are complete like this, and they were not really expensive. Each of the packages was like 10, but like one of them was 12, I don't know why, but so like around 30 for all 3 of them. And you see some others listed at the back, so that one's from 96, when there were just 4 sets out there. And I think these are from 97, when you can see it at the back there already more sets released. Here we've got one of the Cantina Band guys. I can never pronounce the name. Here we've got a Scout Trooper, and I don't know what is this actually. Is it? It's Bib Fortuna's face. Yeah, I could see it from here. Yes, the little miniature figurine is always the one that belongs into the head. So these are I would already consider them vintage, because they are mid to late 90s. That's already more than 20-25 years ago, so that makes sense. We've got Yoda, we've got a Jawa, and what's actually this? The Bush Leia, so Leia in her Bush disguise. And this one is especially cool because it's not really, I mean, it still says Galoob here, but it was released under the, you know, company of Ideal in certain European countries, and we have, I know that this was released also in Germany like this, because it has a German text here. So there was also one that had a completely, I think, Italian text, but it was the same one as one of these, and I was like, okay, I will leave that one for someone who's more dedicated to having different, you know, language cards or something. So like, that's why I just picked up these 3, and to be honest, I will remove them from the cart. I will keep the cards, but I want to have like those miniature play sets to open up and just display, easier than displaying things in boxes on cart, which is usually not my thing. Okay, let's get to some wearable items. I bought 2 t-shirts, both actually from the official Celebrations show store, which this is the only place where I get some kind of a bag. So you've got the bag. I was bummed that like the, you know, fabric bags that they usually hand out were already like gone, so we didn't get one, because we usually don't go into the Celebration show store early, because mostly there isn't really a lot of stuff that we're interested, and when we still have time, because you have to stand in line for a really long time, or you have to get into that virtual queue, etc. But at least I have a paper bag from the show store, and yeah, 2 t-shirts that I liked enough to get. The only colorful item at all that was available was a tie-dye shirt that you could choose which print you wanted on, because they printed it there. It was like a, I don't know what it's called, like Siebdruck in German, this special kind of printing technique where they just did it there by hand. Then it was, you know, dried, and then you got it. So I choose this rebel artwork, you know, the rebellion, the symbol in the middle, a couple of cool, you know, there's a helmet of, you know, the X-Wing pilots, probably Luke's helmet, some tauntauns, and I wanted something that says Star Wars Celebration on it. So Rebel Alliance it says, and then it says Europe 2023 Star Wars Celebration, and then this this word here in Aurebesh, so the kind of the Star Wars alphabet, it says Europe, so I translated it. Yeah, because usually that's a little bit of a problem I do have with, you know, Star Wars t-shirts, etc. They're usually black, and then you have just this one print, and it's just not really what I wear. Stuff like that for example I got last year at Celebration. Stuff like that I want to have, you know, colorful stuff that reminds me of something that's like, you know, this is one of Padme's dresses, the colors. It also has this, you know, big like Amidala at the back, but something like that they didn't have at Celebration Europe, because stuff like that, that's from Box Lunch, or usually like Her Universe does this stuff. None of that was there, so at least a colorful tie-dye t-shirt. And yeah, I still decided to get one of those black t-shirts with one print on it. Just because I think the artwork is so cool. This is for, you know, the upcoming Ahsoka show, which will be launching will be airing in the end of August this year. Can't believe it's a live action show, so that, you know, if you know, you know. Ahsoka is actually a character that I have cosplayed for such a long time. She's one of my favorite characters, but she's like from the animated series, which I love, and actually was never really a huge fan of bringing her to the live action world of Star Wars. I was super happy with her being animated. But like now I've seen the trailer, we've seen a little bit of extra footage, etc., etc., and I'm like really pumped. So that's why I thought, okay, I'm gonna get this t-shirt with Ahsoka and Sabine on it. So, and it's a black t-shirt. I mean, it's not that I never wear black, it's just more like we even would have preferred it if it would have been white, but like, okay, black t-shirt. I chosen, you know, whatever this is, extra large or large or something, to have it like oversized. I can wear it almost as a dress, or with, you know, just cycling shorts underneath or something like that in the summer. And this is a really, really cool artwork, at least. So got these two. Decided not to get any of the pins in the show store. The artwork most often is not really my favorite. I mean, the good ones were sold out anyway, so but that's something that would be worth going into the Celebration show store earlier, which maybe I can have that in mind for the next Celebration to come. What else did I pick up? I honestly don't know which ones I picked up which day, but I definitely found more vintage Ewok stuff. These are so cute. These are sticker sheets. They are still in the original, you know, what is it called, you know, the wrapping. And last year from Celebration I bought puffy stickers. Now I have these. I mean, this artwork is just to die for. Isn't that so cute? And it actually says it has 3 sheets of these stickers in there. I will never open that up. It's in this, you know, shrink wrap. That's what it's called. Thing here. 1983. I think the a company that was licensed this was Drawing Board Greeting Cards. Never heard of that, but you know, probably just not as well known as something like, you know, Hallmark or something. And these are, I mean, they look so whimsical and so almost like, you know, fantasy. I mean, Star Wars is fantasy. It's science fantasy, but you know, like these colors. It's so like cutesy and woodland, and oh, I love it. So these are really good finds. Don't remember, I think £8 per sheet. And don't even know where to put that anymore. I bought one back card. I don't know, I just thought, hey, this was the last day, it was like, I think, my last purchase. They are not in good condition, obviously. These are the back cards that the original vintage figures came on here, and that's actually the figure that this came on. So this is Chief Chirpa, and this is his back card. That's why I decided I already bought this figure at the convention. Now I'm gonna get this back card. It was £5, and there were a lot of them that already had, you know, cutouts. The name was cut out. Some of the, you know, proof of purchase things were cut out, etc. But this is in pretty good condition, and it's an Ewok, and it's original, and I just, yeah, So now I have one original back card of the vintage Star Wars figures, obviously made by Kenner. And here you see all of the original vintage ones that were out at that point, which were how many? 77 at that point. I mean, they released a couple more. And you see some of the play sets, and it's just, even the back side is in really good condition. The cool thing is it's even unpunched. I mean, it's not directly a mint card, but it is unpunched. So there we go. There I am with my vintage Ewok stuff. I think it works. Yeah, more Jar Jar stuff. Stickers, more stickers. Not as much Jar Jar stuff as Ewok stuff, but I couldn't leave them. They are obviously from 1999. They are glittery stickers. I don't know if you can see that. Does it come through? There you go. They are like iridescent glittery Jar Jar Binks stickers, and I love them. So Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace from 1999. So my oddities Star Wars Jar Jar collection. Of course I have more of these, you know, swag items. Stuff like you just get things from fans or just from people who, hi, can I take a photo? Oh yeah, here you go, you have a postcard. Or I don't know, when I met people like her, Chantelia cosplay, we did a photo together and then she handed me a super cool sticker. This, for example, is just a sticker from one of the vendors. This is a sticker that I got. This is more like an official celebration sticker, the show before the show. So when you were at one of the stages and there's a host, like a pre-show before the panel starts. And that one time I was on stage, it was like in kind of a dance contest or whatever. You got that sticker, so that's something that not everyone has. It's actually what kind of strange design is that? But they meshed together the Mandalorian and the Nakina 5 uniforms from Andor. This is such a cute sticker. It's also from Yuki, so from the Japanese artist. It's a very, very cute Ahsoka Sakura sticker. This was also so cool. Someone just went around the hall, the vendor floors, etc. with one of those, you know, checky cameras. What is it called? These. I forgot the name. Where you immediately get the photo, and it was here we go. So I have this cool photo now of us, and you know, other stickers. This is, for example, from one of the very well-known Ahsoka cosplayers, Ahsoka 94. Or like stuff like, you know, a little patch. I cannot even remember who gave this to me. This is like a collector coin from when you were attending a panel at the collector stage, which we did. There was one very cool, like, you know, Star Wars oddities collecting panel, and this is like official Star Wars celebration thing. So cool that you get something collectible when you visit the collector stage. So that's such a nice thing. Or you just get, you know, cards from other artists or from cosplayers, etc. So I think this is also a sticker, probably from the Droid Builders. Another, you know, bookmark, stuff like that. Or like, you know, self-printed, you know, 3D printed cool like medallions or whatever that. I mean, it's just some of the stuff I'm always like, it's so cool, but I just don't know what to do with it. So I have like kind of a whole folder with all of the stuff that we ever got at any like celebrations before. Oh, there's one other big thing that I bought, which is this book, also The Last Day, I think. It's big, it's heavy, but I put it in my, you know, my cabin luggage, so I did not have to, like, you know, worry about this getting my real luggage that I check in like heavier. This is a collector's book with all of the 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figures from, you know, the beginning, so from 77 up until 2012. So it's not super new, but it has all of the vintage, all of the, you know, prequel Clone Wars, not all of the Clone Wars, but most of it. It just has not the super new stuff, that's from 2012, but it is really, it's by alphabetical order. It shows all of the characters with all of the, you know, different accessories, etc. So it's a really good way. And I researched even some of the figures that I got here that I showed you right now today. So that was £15 Originally it retailed for £25, and I was like, oh, I mean, this is probably out of print, I don't know, 2012, that's still available normally, but like, never seen that, and it's actually a really good thing to have. So, is that everything? Let's check if I wrote down more. Now all the figures go. That's it. Okay, yeah, that's it. I can just say we had such a phenomenal, fantastic time at Star Wars Celebration again, and all of the goodies, all of the stuff that you buy is obviously not the main reason why you go there. The main reason why you go there is to be surrounded by Star Wars fans from all over the world, to be in that very room or in that building where the big announcements are made, to see the actors, the makers, the behind the scenes people, to see, like, you know, to make photos with all of the cosplayers, to be in that whole space where the whole Star Wars, you know, fandom is located at that moment, and you make memories, and it's just amazing. And all this little like stuff that you can take along with you is just extra. So costs a lot of money, but yeah. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this excursus to more like Star Wars stuff this week here on my otherwise more girly oriented vintage toy channel. I can tell you next video will be a vintage toy hunt at Nerd Base. That's a vintage and also modern toy store in the UK near London, and then there will also be a haul for that, so you can look forward to that. And at one point we're getting back to the normal, you know, toy hunting, flea market videos from Berlin, and my unboxings from My Little Pony, etc. So if you're not subscribed and you're into also that, please just hit the subscribe button and click the bell notification if you want to get like always up to date when I upload new videos. If you just enjoyed that and you're like, that was cool, but I'm not really into all this vintage girly stuff, then maybe just give this video a like, or tell me anything in the comments down below that I maybe got wrong about these figures or whatever, or just tell me, have you ever visited Star Wars Celebration? Would you be up for that? Is that something that you would go to, or have you ever watched a Star Wars movie? Because I know most of my subscribers are not into Star Wars, they're more into, you know, My Little Pony, Barbie, Polly Pocket, etc. So hope you still enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and may the toys and may the Force be with you. Bye!